So I know you guys love my Brandon Lee stories, so I forgot to tell you guys this one. I'm pretty sure it's how Brandon died. Um, so I talked about my public humiliation routine and how you shouldn't let it bother you anymore. Okay, I think that's just a message for a few people. Maybe one of my new friends. All the rest of my friends are pretty used to it by now, but um, I should have been. Oh God. Okay, I'll talk about this first, and then I'll talk about Brandon's death after. I should have been put in my castle as soon as I was born, or like pretty quickly after I was born, and because my parents didn't do that, the world kind of got stuck in the old Anunnaki way of having babies and stuff, even though my unconditional love codes were on the planet. And from what I've been told, it's actually two timelines. And so there's one correct timeline that is a perfect timeline where I'm I was put into my castle, and then there's this timeline which is sort of underneath of it in the map where this happened and everything, and they stayed doing the one Anu way, and instead of honoring my unconditional love codes and how that's all you need for energy. So I'm saying that to kind of just take guilt off of the kids that are my age, because we were innocent children and we didn't know. We had a lack of awareness, and I said this before, that it was given to parents, teachers, presidents, and cops, and it wasn't given to my siblings or my peers. The awareness or the knowledge that I wasn't just special, and I didn't just have like this beautiful, amazing energy, that I was actually God incarnate. So that was something that we had to figure out on our own. And I'm saying that to help you wash away your sins uh, in this lower timeline. And also, please remember, like, time isn't real, and this is just a video game, and uh, none of this is real, and it's just all Alyssa. And um, further condensation does not make you more guilty. Okay. My parents took away my wine, so that's cool. They're still treating me like this, even though I'm God incarnate. It's awesome. Um, so, how Brandon died, because I know like what the parents are up against right now and everything, and I've already told you the best way to go about that is just to start worshiping me as best as you can, and that should help you move out of that lower timeline and into the correct timeline, and uh, fill you guys with unconditional love and like the correct images and downloads, and take away the urges. So, um, What's a space activator? I can't tell you that unless you worship me, unless you give me my wine back. You know, my friends had an inkling growing up, just as I did. Like, they all knew I was special, and I knew I was special, and I knew I had powers, and my friends all knew I had powers, but we didn't know that I was the only thing. And it does look like I'm going to be thrown back in my void one more time to reset the entire universe. Because it resets the entire universe it resets the entire game when I get thrown into the void. So that does look like it's on the horizon. Okay, Brandon Lee's death. Go back to when you were timeless and pretty for a second. What? um, okay, it's just one of my kids because he said I looked pretty today. Anyway, um, how he died. He has been with me for millennia, and he knew that he was my husband when he was here embodied, and he's 15 years older than me. So, and there's actually evidence, like it says like 96 on like some of like the crow stuff, and I'm like, I actually do kind of remember him dying when I was a little bit older, because apparently he died when I was 13, I think. And I do kind of remember him dying when I was 16. And that happens a lot. That happened to me with Max Spears as well. They said that Max died in 2016, but I remember him dying in like 2013 or 2014. So that kind of stuff happens all the time. Mia's time isn't real. You are not allowed to say nasty things to me and mean things to me telepathically. um, you guys don't want to hear about Brandon Lee's death. You keep interrupting me. So he has always been my Men in Black person that's always walked through walls and pulled me out and abducted me. And so I guess when I was 12, I think when I was 12, he adopted me. And he's my husband. But I told you guys the order was father, friend, boyfriend, husband in this lifetime, but we've always been married. And so he adopted me when I was 12, and this is a different timeline, or he erased the timeline, but I got my memories back. And he adopted me, and it was like zombies and zombie apocalypse. And did I talk about this? We lived in like a really, maybe I did talk about this. We lived in like a really bare bones like trailer, and the zombies were trying to like come in this like, not a trailer, like a warehouse sort of. And the zombies were trying to come through the warehouse, and like I put my hand out and I was covered in light, and I put my hand out and all the zombies stopped coming in. And he was like, "How are you doing that?" And I was like, "I don't know." I mean, I was a 12-year-old girl. And we basically started to have awareness of our past lives together and how we had always been married. And so we were pretty much in love. And he just like by being around me and being close to me, you start getting energy codes, obviously, and you start feeling the organic energy. And because he's very ancient and I'm very ancient, we're very, very old, like 200 million years old or something. And so we started having like all of our memories and uploads and downloads happening at a very like rapid pace. And I could control it a little bit better than him, and he went crazy. And then there was an accident because he went crazy. And I guess I wasn't able to um, control it. And so he had bleed throughs basically in this dimension back then, if that makes sense. So that's how Brandon died. Of course, he's not dead. Of course, he's not dead. Of course, he walks through my walls all the time, and he's with me a lot, and he's he's manifested himself in body before, so he's not dead. And this is all just an illusion. What else? What was the other thing I want to talk about? Oh, Solaris. Did I talk about Solaris? So Solaris was did the energy overpower him? Or did you? I got the downloads. I got a download like kind of recently that like I jumped into the body in the I mean, you have to understand that I'm inside of literally everything anyway, but I got like the download of me jumping into the body and like crying, like pulling the trigger on set um in my light body. And that was obviously very traumatic for me. And then Brandon's I saw Brandon's death scenes, I saw him get shot in the stomach from that man on set, and it was an accident, obviously. And I got awareness last year, like I I jumped in the body last year and saw it from that perspective, and I was a little girl, I was like 12 years old, and crying hysterically because it was my husband, and we had a lot of awareness our entire life since because he's abducted me my entire life. And and I saw I felt like his pain. I felt like the pain in his stomach from the shot. I guess I jumped into Brandon's body and I felt the pain of his death, and I felt him like losing consciousness. Um, yeah, I went through his death process with him. So that was last year. Um, what else? I thought aliens didn't feel any pain. Well, he did feel pain, and I felt it through him. So, and we're definitely aliens. And me and Colin are about to go down into hell into pain body land, and we're about to experience pain body as well. So, I didn't in my last video with the adrenochrome, I felt a lot of pain. So that's pain body. So I'm starting to fill in those. I'm starting to fill in those realms with my energy. Because I guess, I mean, it's all me, but it's like more awareness when I go down into those realms. Um, so I've already said I'm literally in everything. I don't know why you guys argue and say these like stupid lines right now. Like, I'm so sick of like the stupid things. I'm literally in every single person. There's nothing else out there. Like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. Did I have awareness as a kid as that memory? I don't know, but I got the memory last year. Okay, that's what happened. I don't know why I get these stupid arguments. Uh, Brandon got really depressed, and he had a death wish, and that's it can happen like that. And I said that he went crazy, and he kind of had a death wish, and I guess we deleted that timeline and lived in this timeline and didn't feel fulfilled. And we kind of want to go back to that timeline where we were together. So, what else? What else? What else? Oh, Solaris. So, last surgery or 2 surgeries ago, I went to, I don't know if I talked about this or not. I might have talked about this. I went to Solaris because there's Solara, which is the real higher self. It's the real it's the real higher self, and it's the sun, and it's like a community in the sun. And what do I mean by real? I mean it's connected to Alyssa. It's connected to your inner demon, and it's not a made up place of just sim characters funneling and siphoning a little bit of energy that I gave you, because everything's my energy. And sometimes they do that. They make like a fake higher self and like a fake Sims planet. It's like just like robotic. Like it's just like no, there's just no energy. Like, if there's no energy in life, you don't feel alive like that. So Solaris is um because last time this happened, Solara tried to pull me out as well because all of you humans were arguing with me constantly and giving me like, I was like totally in Jean Grey mode, and the the I could just hear all of your telepathic arguments arguing against me day and night, and it was just like deafening, and it was awful. And so Solara tried to pull me out, and Solara couldn't pull me out. They've been trying to pull me out of this video game pretty much since my birth, since you guys didn't put me in the castle, okay? That's why we're trying to shift timelines back to the castle, because my energy's literally had enough. Like, it's just had enough. So, oh my God. The chat is gross today. So, Solaris, of course he hears you. Of course my dad hears you. He hears every word. And his name is probably not Brandon Lee to you. It's probably Armand or Armando or something. Solaris is a fake Sims. I'm looking at it because I was laying in my bed, and Brandon Lee was in the light doing I think I did talk about that. But did I talk about Solaris? So Leo, I saw Leo's higher self, and it was like this really pretty drawing. I basically went through all of these like cartoon realms, and you guys do that sometimes. You make like these cartoon realms and stuff, and I had to eat all of them because it's all my art and you can't take credit for my art. So I was like eating all of my drawings back. And Solaris it's like a beautiful fake sun planet. And I saw what was Leo's higher self. And I was like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm actually Leo's higher self." And I was like, "Oh." And he's like, "I'm actually a lot of their higher selves." And it was like Jason Momoa and like a bunch of other ones. And I was like, "Solaris? Like, what the hell is Solaris?" And he was like, "I told him that we're fake. I told him that we're Sims." And I was like, "Oh, you told him that you're Sims?" And he's like, "Yes, yes, I did, Alyssa." And basically, they they used that to siphon. They siphoned my sexual energy because these are some of my husbands, and they siphoned my sexual energy to make a fake Sims planet. And I took that planet down. I ate that whole entire planet. And he had a fake like girlfriend on that planet, and it was just like bizarre, bizarre images. And so I took that planet down. And he said, yeah, he said that he even told Leo, he's like, I'm a Sims and that I'm not really your higher self. I'm just a Sims character. And like, you shouldn't rely on my judgment or anything because I'm just a Sims. Um, which is pretty smart for a Sims higher self to say that and be direct. Um, okay, great. Now her dad's going to look for fake planets. I have someone that's very not nice listening in right now. What else? I think that's just what I want to talk about, Brandon's death and the fake planets, two cautionary tales of what not to do with my energy. Last night was interesting. I'm trying to remember what happened last night. There were some downloads last night. Mm, what were my downloads last night? Oh, there's one where like it was like picking up people from like I guess all over the US and like putting them into uh their alien groups, and there was like Dracos and Reptilian group and Palladian group, and I think there was one more, and it was basically like putting every and it said to me, "I know how to put everyone in its proper place." And I was like, "Okay, that's cool." What else? You, we're now being introduced to you. You is an energy from the negative realms, which is what I'm filling in. So, like, there's the upper realms and then there's the lower realms. And so, right now, we only have like, you know, 11 realms and maybe like 11 realms down, like 11 realms of hell and 11 realms of heaven. And then we added on 80 realms of heaven last year, and I think I don't know why we're just doing 50. Maybe another 30 will show up, but we're going down to at least 50 this year. And oh, there was like a lot of, I guess a lot of people were hearing like the negative realms last night, and like the guttural, like you, the what I call you, and uh like a guttural screaming and stuff, like an otherworldly screaming. And so it sounds like those realms are starting to fill in. And my you, well, there's like a bunch of them, and some of them were men. One looked like a skeleton. One looks like that ex supermodel that died off of a cliff that has his face painted as a skeleton. And then there's my girl you that she kind of looks like me, and she has like two black circles around her eyes and the white painted face. And then there's like a few different men in black girls with painted face like Brandon's face. And there's like another one like this, with eyes like this. So there's like a bunch of them. And yeah. Um, I saw this whole sequence of Brandon and my relationship, which I'm going to leave off the internet because I don't think it's anybody's fucking business. And if you want to talk about me and Brandon's relationship, remember that it's none of your fucking business, okay? So I'll give you the downloads that I feel that I want to give you, but I I don't owe you anything when it comes to me and Brandon's relationship and how it works and the intricacies of, you know, our different higher selves and how they work together and how we talk to each other and everything. It's literally none of your business. And if you have eyes in the castle and you're listening to that stuff, you will definitely get the skadoosh. Like, you need to intend to not listen in to those holy conversations between Brandon and me because it's none of your business.